You're gonna go broke pretending that you're rich. You don't need that fancy Rolex or anything like that. Ah, shit. Are you ready to start building that real estate empire? You don't have enough money. You can't even buy that first house. How are you supposed to get into the real estate game if you don't even have enough money to buy that first house? I'm gonna show you step by step exactly what you have to do from getting that first house and then repeating the process to start making yourself money through real estate. I've been helping people buy houses for years. For over 10 years now, I myself bought my first house when I was 23 years old because of a little aha moment where I was renting a room from a friend, and now I've just helped so many other people with that same process. There's usually two hangups, right? Number one, homeownership is unaffordable. It's unaffordable to buy a house right now. You just have to be willing to look a few places and know the rules. If you are ready to get going, start making money through real estate, buying yourself some freedom in life, this is how you do it. Now, we're gonna get off the excuse of you don't have enough money. $200,000 house. There's no $200,000 houses, Braden. Yes, there are. They're out there, you just aren't willing to live in them or drive to where they are. There's so many people right now that are just in this excuse and they're in their heads that it's unaffordable, so they don't even try. They look at the neighborhoods around them where they live or where they're renting, and it's too expensive because they're $500-600 million, right? You don't have to live in that neighborhood. You can go anywhere. We live in a virtual world. Be willing to drive, be willing to make some sacrifices. I don't know how else to say it. Like, it all starts right here with your mindset. There are decently priced homes that you can afford if you're willing to live in them and do the work. Let's talk about that $200,000 house. $200,000 house, if you've got good credit, you can do a conventional loan with little as 3% down. That's $6 grand. It's not very much money. However, if you don't have $6,000, how do you buy that house? Down payment assistance. There are so many down payment assistance programs. I'm not gonna get into the details of them. Honestly, anywhere I do business, I have down payment assistance. Let's get some of the excuses out of the way. I don't qualify for down payment assistance because I make too much money. There's a million programs out there. I have several that do not have income caps, so that one's done. Credit's not good enough. I can show you what you need to do to fix your credit. Depending on how bad it is, you might have to pay a service to help you get there. But again, if you're willing to do the work and understand what it takes to go into it, I can show you exactly what you need to do to fix your credit.
Show me the way home.
Get that house, the very first one. You live in it as a primary resident. And then once that house has some good equity, or even if it really doesn't have a ton of equity, what you can do is you can turn around and buy another house with another down payment assistance program. Yes, you can use them over and over and over. If you don't have enough money saved, like for example, another $200,000 house at $6,000 down payment, if you don't have that, use another down payment assistance program. Get into that house. You know what your mortgage payment is for this current one that you just bought. You get a renter in there to cover that, and then you qualify for the new one. We can count up to 75% of the amount you collect in rent to offset the mortgage. So we can easily do the math on that. You can do all this ahead of time. We can figure out exactly how much you would need to charge for rent to offset that mortgage payment, make you a little extra money, and still be able to qualify for the new house because you already did it once before. This is how you do it. So now you've got another property. This one's cash flowing. While it's cash flowing, guess what else it's doing? It's earning equity, becoming more valuable, right? When you buy a car, we all know what happens right when you drive it off the lot, right? It immediately depreciates. It is worth less the second you drive it away. With houses, it's different. The second you get that key, it's probably already worth more. Houses are a good investment and they're gonna continue to stay that way because that's what the data shows us. I have so many other videos if there's naysayers out there saying there's a crash coming or it's not always stable. In the long term, it's absolutely always stable. I'll use myself as an example. I think there was a video where I talked about past 70 years of real estate trends.
81 years of housing data on this little graph right here. How many times do you think home values went down in those 81 years? Only 7 times in the last 81 years did we see home prices go down. They stayed flat one year, and then we saw increases for 73 of those years. When I bought my very first house at 23 years old, guess what? I bought in a market where it went down after I bought. Guess how much money I made when I finally sold that place? A lot of money that helped me buy this place, which allowed me to buy my first rental property. It took me in my 30s to get into this game. It is all about cash flow. It's about borrowing money to pay your bills for you. So now, again, I have a property up in Pine Top, between what it cost me and the mortgage, all the expenses to run it. The amount of money I get from the rentals cover that cost. So that thing actually doesn't cost me money and it's going to make me money. So when I finally do decide to sell it, not only have I not spent any money other than the initial down payment when I bought the place, it's gonna get me a huge return on my investment. And I only bought it a few years ago. Imagine what it'll look like 5 or 10 years from now. Real estate is a long-term investment, but you can still use it in the short term to help you get more real estate.
With me so far? Other added benefits of building that real estate empire are tax benefits. There are so many tax benefits when it comes to buying real estate. Mortgage interest is tax deductible. That goes against the money that you make or the income that they tax you, right? Your income tax. That's just one of the many things you can do with it. And I haven't even gotten into like the rental property type of stuff. So, if you know that real estate is a smart way to make money and you're not sure how to get into the game, it's all about getting that first house. There are so many different ways to make it happen, and I can show you exactly what you need to do. So take the time, book an appointment. You can do it right there on my website. You can just hit me up in the messages. I'll give you my cell phone number. We can call and chat. You share with me all the reasons why you think you may not be able to buy a house, and I'll show you why it is a reality. And you can start building that wealth for the long term if you follow these steps and you understand the rules. So let's make it happen. Got this.